Welcome into Tuesday Job Talk. I am Katie Castillo, the community expert here at VertForce. So today we're primarily going to talk, obviously, about remote jobs, new available ones this week on our job board, but we're also going to talk about upcoming events. And as always, first and foremost, since I am live here with you, if you have questions, whether that's about the jobs on our job board, about the events, remote job searching in general, career advice, anything like that, go ahead and drop that in the comments. I am keeping an eye on those and we'll answer those as we go. So if you have questions, let me know. If you are watching, go ahead and drop a comment. Let me know where you're watching from and what you're looking for. And let's see if I can help you. So I see Jenny Lynn just sent me a little a rooster picture on Facebook. So thank you. Hopefully you can't hear him. My kids named him Robert and he's quite loud and has decided to chime in today. So hopefully you can't hear him. I do have my headphones at least, so hopefully you can't hear him. Anyways, let's get going. So if you're new to VertForce and you don't really know who we are a military spouse and veteran owned operated company, and we help veterans and military spouses find primarily remote work or PCS friendly, location flexible careers. And we do that through a number of ways, but the biggest one, the primary one, is through our job board. So I'm going to put the links up here for you. If you are not watching from your phone, you can scan the QR code there, or you can go to jobs.vertforce.us. And this is our job board. So it is a private job board. So not just anybody can share a job on that job board. So, which is good for you guys. That means that the jobs on our job board are entirely vetted, legitimate jobs with military friendly employers. The majority of them are remote or location PCS flexible. We try to put all of the information on there so you have a good base going into the application. It is a private job board, which does mean that you do have to make an account. It is free. All of our resources, everything that we offer is free, but you do have to make an account and sign in order to see all of the jobs. If you don't sign in, you will not see all of the jobs. So make sure you make an account and sign in, and you'll be able to see all of the positions. Oh, I see we've got a couple people on Facebook. Hello, Christina, Amy, Jenny Lynn, joining us from San Antonio, Georgia. We've got some looking for customer service, admin assistant. Okay, I see you, Jenny. And Christina looking for admin, project management, finance. Okay, awesome. We definitely have some roles on the job board for you guys at the moment. I don't know if you have actually looked at the job board recently, but we have tons of new jobs. So we'll just hop right on over there and we'll go through the jobs. But we definitely have a couple things for you guys joining in on Facebook that suit what you're looking for. So let's go over there and take a look. So some of these have been on there. You will always see, let's start with this. You guys will always see on our job board links to like multi-listing links for Travelers, Imagine 360, and CVS Health. They are partners of ours and we continually like annual partners of ours. So we always have their job listings on our job board. So you can always find those on there. Travelers Imagine 360, you will just click the link and it'll take you straight over and you can start sorting. CVS, we have broken it down by career area, whether that's customer care or IT, finance kind of things, or warehouse positions, in-store positions, et cetera, or clinical also. So just look for those. Again, we try to put as much information on the job board for you guys as possible. So let's head over and now look. So this week, yesterday? Yes, it's Tuesday. Okay, so yesterday we have 2 health coach dietitian roles up. Both of those they're looking for, it's for CVS Health, they're looking for registered dietitians. One of them is any U.S. state, but Pacific Standard Time hours are preferred. So if you're in PST, like me, they have that as a preference there. But one of them, you'll see it is Mountain Standard Time or Pacific Standard Time hours required, but 2 dietitian roles. So I know we have several registered dietitians in our group and as part of our community. These are great roles for you. Check those out. Those are going to be quiet office hours, remote, W-2, PTO, all the good benefits. We also have a work-life resource consultant role for you'll be working with Medicare patients. This is going to be somebody who's got a social working background, or a case management, social services type background. This is a kind of a unique position, so it's really cool that we have that on our job board this week. Check it out. They are preferring, not preferring, well, it is preferring, sorry, excuse me. They prefer somebody who speaks Spanish. That's a really awesome skill to have for this position. So if you are a social worker or have that social working, social services kind of background, this is a great role for you. So check that one out. We do have, oops, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. We have a couple customer service rep roles with Travelers up. Those are new. You'll find those. You'll also find the link for all of the Travelers positions in there, but we do have a few like individual customer service representative ones. Travelers, just in case anybody wondering, is the GOAT of benefits. They have, like, obviously your standard benefits of medical, dental, vision, all of that sort of stuff, but they have some really, really cool benefits that every time we talk about their benefits, I learn about new ones that they have that I didn't realize that are really unique and really, really awesome. We're going to dive into that actually at their event that we are going to be having with them next month. So I'll share more about that in a minute. So we've got somebody, let's see I'm trying to remember who it was. Christina, did you apply for the virtual finance admin role? Or anybody watching. So we have a virtual finance admin role that is up. It is a 1099, partially quiet office hours. So not full-time quiet office hours, but partially quiet for meetings and things like that. It is part-time and remote. It's part-time with like growth built in for the right candidate. So they are looking for somebody with like bookkeeping and admin experience. So somebody with 2 years of finance or bookkeeping administrative support experience. So if you are looking for a finance role or an admin role, that one's really great. It has been up for a few days, so make sure you check it out soon and get applying on that one. All right. And I went over these last week, but I will share them now. We do have the remote controller, which we had called the CFO, the Chief Financial Officer role. It's the remote controller role. That one is still technically up. I know that the application deadline was Friday and they were trying to wrap that up by yesterday. But if you do have CPA experience and you are looking for a remote role, this is an incredible role you should check out. So big growth in there. Full-time 1099 to W-2. It's an incredible role. We don't get these ones often. So if you are a CPA and have that type of experience, please go check that one out. Again, do that today because I know that we are closing applications for that if we haven't already. So check that out. With Imagine 360, we have several RN case manager roles up, a transplant case manager, hematology, oncology, and then we have just a RN case manager role. We also have a triage RN role up with Imagine 360 as well right now. And then you'll see 2 customer service roles with Travelers, 2 more customer service roles with Travelers. One of them is just titled customer service rep, and the other is a business CSR role. Fairly similar roles, just different business areas with Travelers. So I know that we had a few people looking for customer service roles. I think Jenny Lynn was one of them. These Travelers customer service roles are incredible. They're going to be great, and they're a good place for you to check out. And while I'm talking about the customer service, there are several more jobs on our job board. Like I said earlier that we have, you'll always find the Travelers Insurance multiple position available, a couple different positions for CVS Health, and we've broken it down by business area, as well as a multi-position listing for Imagine 360. So let me pop over here. Also, sorry if I'm squinting. I just realized that I was kind of doing that. The sun is a little bit bright out here today. And I don't normally live stream from a deck, but here we are. Let's see. So now I want to talk to you guys. So I mentioned this before, but I'm saying it again because I know that a couple people joined as we were going and talking already that if you are looking for jobs, looking for our job board, start here, the Job Arsenal. You can scan this QR code here, or you can go to jobs.vertforce.us. Make sure you make an account and sign in. If you don't already have an account, make an account. And then update your profile. You can do that by once you sign in, you click your little name bubble and you can update all of your stuff with your certifications, your licensures, what you're looking for, etc. That just helps us target when we get new roles. And I send out emails about roles or events. I can target some of those a little bit better if you've updated your profile, just so you know. But that's where you'll find everything that I just talked about. Those roles update frequently. So like I said, 2 of those roles, the dietitian roles, just went up yesterday. The CFO and virtual finance admin roles, those just went up in the last week, and they'll probably be down before next week's remote job talk. So we've got those up for you. If you have questions about the jobs in our job board, drop a question in the chat. I am watching those to answer any questions that you have. And I know we specifically had people looking for customer service roles. And so now I want to talk about upcoming events because I think this will really help you out. So let me get over into this. Okay, so next week on Thursday, so a little over 1 week, we are having our Coffee and Connect with Imagine 360. So it is going to be on September 18th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And it's on Zoom. It's a live virtual event with Imagine 360. Guys, it's going to be great. It's going to be great. So if you don't know who Imagine 360 is, they're a remote healthcare company, really making a lot of changes in the healthcare industry to really make it more customer centric, a little bit more understandable, a little bit more accessible, I think is a good word for that. And so, yes, it is a healthcare company, but with all companies, right, just because it's a healthcare company, they are still looking for customer service people, IT people, everything in between, right? So if you are an RN, LPN, physician, all of that sort of stuff. Like I talked about on the job board, we do have some of those job board postings available right now. Like if you're an RN, there are so many jobs available for you right now. But if you're not an RN or really in the healthcare industry, it's still for you. So they are going to be talking specifically about some of their customer service positions next week. And what's really, really cool, so not only are you going to get to meet the 2 of the recruiters that actually are actively recruiting in talent acquisition for Imagine 360, which is really cool to hear from them. You'll get to hear about the positions, what they're looking for, and how you can stand out as an applicant. But I'm really excited about this. We're going to have 2 VirtForce community members who actually work at Imagine 360 now coming back to tell you their stories. So one of them was hired about 2 years ago. She was in your shoes 2 years ago looking for position and found it after our Coffee and Connect with Imagine 360 and has now been there for 2 years and has moved with them. And the other one is a more new employee. Sorry, the jets are taking off from the Navy base nearby, so I can hear that. So hopefully you guys can still hear me because it might get a little loud. If it does get loud and you can't hear me, drop me a thing and I'll pause for a second. Anybody near a Navy base with jets knows how loud they can be sometimes. So sorry about that. But so another one is a newer employee, but she is one of our VirtForce community members, and she's been with them for a little under a year. So you're going to get to hear what it's been like for her in the last, year or so, last 10 months or so. And you're going to get to hear her story about, how she found Imagine 360, what it was like getting there, what she does now. And the cool part is you'll actually get to hear about what their day-to-day life is like, what it is actually like. Somebody who is a military spouse working at this company in the positions that they're going to have open job applications for. So it's a really unique opportunity to get to ask your questions live, hear about it, hear from the recruiters, and actually get to talk to the recruiters. And then that we will have job listings to share with you at that event as well. So like I said, it's on September 18th at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, so 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time. So hopefully after school drop off if you have to do that. And then we're going to talk to them. We're going to talk to recruiters. You will get a chance during this event to have live Q&A. So you can drop your questions in a chat form if you want. But you also get a chance to turn on your camera and talk directly to the talent acquisition team at Imagine 360, which as a job seeker is such a cool opportunity. So also at that event, just as a quick thing, I did mention we are going to have open jobs to share with you, and we're going to share those links and things you can do in the application and on your resume to stand out as a candidate. We are also giving away 100 Starbucks gift cards for live attendees at that event too. So if you haven't RSVP'd, make sure you do that. It will help you. You'll get a calendar invite and you'll get reminders. So it'll help you remember that the event is happening. And once you RSVP, you will get the recording after the event. So if you want to rewatch it, or you have questions about something that was mentioned, or you want to share it with people, or you didn't get to stay the whole time, you will get the recording from us once that recording is available if you RSVP. And then the week after that, I'm gonna swap my little things. Okay, the week after that, on September 23rd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Time, we have our CVS Health Customer Care Coffee and Connect. You're going to get to talk to 2 of the talent acquisition members actually doing the hiring for the role that we will be sharing and talking about during the event, which is really cool. They will literally be the ones who interview and look at your resume and your application, and you get to meet them face to face, which is super cool. Again, we're going to have open job links for you. And at this event, which is really cool for CVS, we have launched a new program with CVS called our CVS cohort. So we are doing, this one will be the official launch of the CVS Health Customer Care cohort, where we're going to be supporting you through the application process from start to finish, helping advocate for you, giving you resume tips, application tips, and sharing expedited job alerts as well. So this one, do make sure you RSVP. It's really important to do for all the events. This one, if you want to join the CVS Health Customer Care cohort, you need to RSVP, because this is how we're going to share information. I will be dropping all of the links for the customer care cohort and walking you through all that process at the event and in the weeks following that. So RSVP here at this link. I will drop those links for you guys in the chat here actually now too. I just realized I didn't do that. So let me do that for you so that anybody who is watching from your phone, which is probably a significant number of you, if you're watching from your phone, you can't scan. So let me drop you those links. So that's the Imagine 360 one. I just shared that one in the chat. If you don't see it, you can always comment on the Facebook video and I can come back and help you guys with that. And then let me share the CVS one for you. So just as a quick reminder, that is a virtual event on September 23rd at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific. And so we do have 2 events coming up in the next 2 weeks. First one is with Imagine 360 and then CVS Health. So like I mentioned earlier with Imagine 360, both of these companies are technically healthcare companies, right? But they are hiring for healthcare clinical roles as well as customer service. With the CVS event, this is our customer care event. So this one is focused on their customer care positions, which is a slightly different business line, obviously, than their clinical positions. We are having an event with CVS Health probably in October, date TBD. I will get back to you guys. We should have information hopefully by next week and a finalized date on a clinical cohort start date for you as well. So we will be doing a clinical event and clinical cohort with CVS Health too. So if you have questions about any of those 2, let me know. I'm happy to answer any of that. Now I wanted to talk about real fast about our sister community, the military MLS. So what we do for jobs, the military MLS does for PCSs. So we are connecting military families to other military families to military affiliated realtors, lenders, things like that, to help make the PCS process a lot smoother. And they are having an event on September 30th. It's called PCS Portfolio. Wish I'd started sooner. So it's all about, it started from the idea of like how to be a landlord, right? Like how, if you purchase a home as a military family, how can you utilize your PCSs and how can you leverage the VA loan and your PCSs to turn that house into a real estate portfolio, and how you can rent it out and become a landlord, and what that looks like, sort of. So you can find more information right there at that link. I will drop that link in the chat as well, so you guys have it. That's going to be on September 30th. These ones are always fun. Again, it's our sister community, so it's a little bit, they're a little bit different than our VirtForce job employer events, but they're great education events. They're live Q&A sessions, so you can like talk the whole time and get your questions answered. They do give Starbucks gift cards away at these events. And then if you attend a strategy call with the MLS, the military MLS concierge, you do get a Stanley tumbler, which I actually have my own because it turns out I really like them. So we do give those away for those who attend strategy calls as well. So that is coming up for the military MLS. And give me just a second. I just realized I don't have the link for this, but I'm going to go ahead, and I just made the executive decision right now on the spot, guys, that I'm going to go ahead and soft launch our Travelers event today as well. So we are doing an event with Travelers Insurance. Very excited about this. We're doing an event with Travelers Insurance on October 14th. Let me get this date in here for you guys so you can see it. Sorry, I'm trying to multitask and sometimes that's hard. All right, so I'm going to put this up here. So soft launching officially our Travelers Insurance Coffee and Connect, October 14th. Really excited for this one. I said this earlier when I was talking about the job positions and that are on our job board with Travelers. They are amazing. They're an incredible company, very military friendly, and they have the best benefits I've ever come across for remote work, ever. Like, we have lots of companies that have great benefits, right? CVS Health, Imagine 360 also have great benefits. Travelers has some really, really cool, unique ones that I've never seen before. We were actually just talking about it with their lead talent acquisition manager over there. And it was just every time, like, you also have that as a benefit that you offer people. So it's really cool. They are super military friendly. While many of their positions are on site or hybrid, so obviously, if you are like me, a part of a reservist family now, or you or your spouse has exited the service, there are tons of on-site or hybrid positions available. Even if you do PCS, like if you are an active duty family who is going to be PCSing in a couple of years, there are opportunities for you on-site or hybrid, which is really cool that they offer that. Cool thing about Travelers is that they have made several of their positions that are typically on site or hybrid. They've made them remote specifically for active duty military spouses because they have such a passion for military spouses and what we bring to the table, and knowing that career continuity and growth is so important. So they've made those positions remote. So as an active duty military spouse, you can get a position that's remote that wouldn't be remote for somebody else, which is really cool and really unique. This is going to be a great event. I'm really excited. We're going to have, she's been on several of our past events, but she was not on our one in May. And I'm really excited to have Julie back to talk to us for our October event. It's going to be a good time, guys. It's going to be a lot of fun. As always, we're going to be giving away Starbucks gift cards. You're going to have a chance to talk live face-to-face with recruiters who actually hire for the roles. This is going to be, we're going to share a job opportunity, at least one job opportunity, one or two job opportunities with you guys during this event that is a high volume roles, which means that they're hiring several spouses for this role, which is awesome because that just means more jobs, more better. So that is going to be on October 14th. I'll drop that link for you guys in the chat as well. That is going to be on October 14th. I believe that one is at 1 p.m. as well. I'm gonna double check. Sorry, we have so many events coming up and then I get in my head about it. Yeah, it's at 1 p.m. That's going to be super, super awesome. I'm really looking forward to it. As always, I'm going to say this again. Make sure you RSVP for these events. If you're even remotely interested, RSVP, because you'll get reminders, you'll get the calendar invites so that you can actually come to the event. But after the event, you'll also get all of the links in an email. You'll get the recording, you'll get the recap so that you know what happened in the event, even if you can't come or you have to leave early. But also sometimes I feel like we have a lot of candidates in the event be like, wait, I didn't save the chat. Wait, how do I save all these links? You get the links. If you RSVP, you will get the links. And with us having so many events right now, because it is like a high hiring season for many companies this time of year, usually like August through November is a really high hiring season. We have so many events going on, which is fantastic and amazing. But RSVPing will help you get the reminders so that you know, hey, this is happening this week. All right, now it's time for this event. So because we've got a lot of really great events happening in the next month or so. So that is happening. That's the Travelers event happening on October 14th. Make sure you RSVP. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be there. I'm really looking forward to it. Travelers has been really cool. We have so many community members who work at Travelers and love it and have nothing but good things to say about them. So come meet them. It'll be a good time and come hang out with us. That'll be fun. So that is the bulk of what I wanted to talk about today. If you guys have questions, now is a really good time to ask those questions before I get off for the day and we head on to the rest of our Tuesday. So if you have questions, drop them in the chat. I know we had a couple questions at the beginning about looking for jobs. So I did share the best places to find those. Check out our job board. One thing I didn't mention that I will now is I said, we help you guys find military spouses and veterans find primarily remote work. We help you find new careers. And we do that through our job board, which is a great place to start, right? If you're not a member of our VertForce Facebook group, that is also an excellent place to be. We share, all the event updates, things like that. I know a lot of you are joining from Facebook as I look at my phone. That I know a lot of you are joining from Facebook, but I know there are a lot of you not on our Facebook group. And if it's a great place to be, we share jobs, we share events, things like that. But our community in there is like 90,000 people strong, and they all share remote positions that they come across as well. So it's a really great way to crowdsource and to join a community that is there just to help you and find the right resources for you and help find suggestions and leads. So it's a great place to be. It's right. My finger is not showing up. But it's the VertForce private Facebook group. You do have to answer the membership questions in order to be admitted, so make sure you do that. The first question is a two-parter, so if you don't answer both, I can't admit you. So make sure you do that. If you can't scan it right now, just search for VertForce in groups and you'll find it there. I see that we have a question from Marina. Would like to know, do you recommend applying for a position prior to the event? That's a great question, actually. Go ahead and apply. Especially for like positions at CVS Health, they have so many applicants that those positions turn around pretty quickly. So if it is a position that you are really interested in and you're ready, go ahead and apply. That's okay. If it's not one that you're like crazy interested in, then maybe wait, because at the event, we are going to be talking about things what they're looking for as a company, because all of these companies are looking for different qualities and different things in people, right? And they all have different positions. So you want to get a little bit more of a feel about what this company is, and you'll have a chance to ask your questions at the live event. So if it is a position, especially with like something like CVS Health, where their positions open and close so fast, and being one of the top or the first 10% of applicants can make a huge difference in getting your application seen, go ahead and apply. There's no harm in that. It'll be okay. Just make sure that you do a little bit of background research on the company. Make sure you tailor your resume and your cover letter, and then mark yourself as a VertForce candidate on all of those. If I didn't answer your question, Marina, let me know. If you have follow-up questions, just let me know. I am watching the chat. So I see that Amy would like to know, if for travelers, if you don't pass the personality assessment, there's a 6-month waiting period before reapplying. It says you can also reapply for non-assessment positions in the meantime. How can we figure out what the non-assessment positions are? Great question, Amy. I actually don't know if there is a way to search that. Like, I don't think that Travelers has a filter on their job board. Let's go find out real fast, shall we? We're going to figure this out together. I don't think they have a filter on their job board, but we're going to look. I'm going to double check right now and see. It might just be that you have to, so for example, if you applied for business customer insurance representative, whatever, anything with that same job title is probably likely going to be an assessment position, right? So looking for different roles is going to be key in searching for that. And I'm double checking really fast to see if I don't see anything, but just try. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have any filters for non-assessment. So that's just going to require a little bit more legwork on your part, right, Amy, is just checking, because the job descriptions, there we go. Sorry. The job descriptions will have information about whether or not you have to take the assessment. So that way, that is something though that we can ask in our live event with them, whether or not they have a way to search those or things that you can look up. You can also try a quick Google search and just see if anybody has a list going of any positions at Travelers that don't require an assessment. So I know they have several that don't require an assessment. So there are opportunities in between that 6-month waiting period. But I will make sure to file that away and make a note for that on our outline. So that's something that we can ask the Travelers HR team as well during the event. Okay. Okay, Jenny Lynn has the same question. Oh, you're welcome, Amy. If I didn't answer your question or you have follow-up questions, let me know. Same for you, Jenny. I saw that you had the same question. So if you have questions, let me know. And Marina would like to know, are there any remote positions for Travelers other than CSR? Yes, there are. But I will say many of them are internal roles. They don't always post those remote roles externally. So that's one of those things that sometimes getting in and then having discussions with your managers and things like that can be very beneficial. Travelers is really big on internal growth. They don't want to put somebody in a seat that's doesn't want to be there for a long time, right? They want you to get in that seat and stay, not necessarily in the same position, but they want you to stay with Travelers for a long time. So I can't name any positions specifically right now because it totally depends on the position. And so just keep an eye out. That's the best I can say is that just keep an eye out on the Travelers website, keep searching for remote. So they do pop up that are non-CSR roles. It's just a matter of finding them. They're a little bit, CSR just tends to be higher volume. So they're easier to find. So just keep an eye out for that. And like I said, a lot of them, when we spoke to the recruiters last week, I believe, they said a lot of if they're remote positions that are non-CSR, a lot of them are internal. And there is obviously a push for return to office. So that is happening as well, just nationwide with companies, but there are still remote positions. I just don't have them right now, but just keep an eye out on the job board. Just keep checking on the Travelers job board on filtering for remote, and you never know what's going to pop up. And that's also something too, that like once you're in with Travelers, I can't make any promises obviously, but it's worth once you're in talking to your manager and seeing what growth opportunities there are, what lateral moves there are, and what you can do, whether that's a hybrid position or it turns into on-site or something eventually in a different role, if that makes sense. Yeah, Sid. So Sid is saying you can move around after a year. So it totally depends on the position. I will say, like, we have had, we have a lot of community members who work at Travelers, and they do have a chance once you're in, you're in your position for a year, there's obviously a lot of room for growth and lateral moves and up and down and sideways and all the way around, right? With Travelers, there's lots of different places to go within the Travelers family. So that's a great question too for their recruitment team at the event. And like I said, just keep an eye out on their job board and make sure with Travelers that you mark yourself as a VertForce candidate. They have been a long time incredible partner of ours. And so they're very responsive to our candidates and to us when we reach out to them on behalf of you guys. So just as a heads up. Kimmy would like to know, Okay, Marina would like to know, really interested in property claims adjuster, and they have a lot of those and offer training. Yeah, so they do. And I have seen those positions in the past be remote, I think. They may not be now, and that might just be what works best for that position, right? A lot of companies have realized there are certain positions that really do better in an office, or you have to travel, right? So it just totally depends, but just keep an eye out on them. That's something, like I said, we can talk about in the event. You can ask the recruiters. And once you're on with Travelers, obviously, right, you will have internal connections to talk to your manager, your supervisors, and your coworkers to get a feel what might be a good path for you as well. And then Kimmy would like to know what positions will be available for Imagine 360 Coffee and Connect, specifically LPNs. So I don't know if we will have, I don't know yet. I don't have a finalized list on open positions that we'll be sharing at the Coffee and Connect. So I'm not trying to gatekeep. I just don't have the list yet. We try to get roles that have just opened right before the event. So we share the most updated, most high volume roles that we can to get you guys in as soon as possible. So I don't have a list yet. I don't know if we'll have LPN roles or RN roles or what we'll be sharing at the time. I know we are going to probably be sharing some customer service roles. But like I said, they are a partner of ours. So if you check their multi-listing position on our job board, you can go check out what roles they have open right now for LPNs. And then we'll share those links again in the event. And that's a question you can ask in the event. Again, I'm not trying to gatekeep. I'm not trying to tease you about this. I just don't have the roles right now. We usually try to wait until the very last minute to select which roles are open right then to share at the event, just to give you guys the best chance to get hired, right? We want to share something first with you guys rather than pick something that's been open for 14 days that just doesn't set anybody up for success. So let's see. Kimmy would like to know, do you recommend applying for a CSR even if you hold a nursing license? I think that is up to you. My best advice is don't be applying for roles if you're not actually interested in them. If it's not a role that you want, that you fit the qualifications for, that you actually think you'd be a good fit for, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time applying for it. Because especially when it's for a company you do want to work for in another role that you know that you actually want to work for, I would not spend your time applying for a position that you really don't actually want. If you want the role and you think you'd be a good fit for it, go right ahead. There's no reason not to. Just make sure that you're tailoring your resume and your cover letter to this new position, especially if it's like nursing position to a customer service position. Those are very different on paper, but you obviously have a lot of customer service this hand was nurse, a lot of customer service experience as a nurse that can be transferable and applicable to another customer service position. So if you're actually interested in the CSR position and you really do want it, then yeah, go ahead and apply. There's no reason not to. Just make sure you're spending the time to actually very deeply tailoring your resume and cover letter. Even if you hold a nursing license, there's no reason not to, unless it's not a position you actually want. Like if you're not actually interested in the role, there's no reason to apply for it, because that's just a waste of your time. And, you know, if you don't want it, why would you go for it, right? Why would you spend your time applying and tailoring and doing all that sort of stuff? It's not a role you actually want. So if it is one you want, go for it. Just make sure, like I said, that you tailor your resume and cover letter, which if you need help with on our job site, the jobs.vertforce.us, at the top, there's like a little learning button. Click that and it'll take you. We have a resume boot camp, Hiring Our Heroes, MySeco, USO, your branch's version of Fleet and Family. They all have resume services and can help you with that if you need it. Our Instagram has a bunch of little tips too. And checking the chat. Also, guys, I'm laughing really hard. I just got a text pop up and I was like, what is this? And it says, hey, I'm going to read this because this is valid to what we're talking about here, because I'm doing this live stream for remote job things. So I just got a text message and it says, hey, sorry to bother you. I'm Emily from Jobs to Careers. We'd like to provide you an online remote job with a daily salary starting at $60 to $120. I work 60 to 90 minutes a day at my preferred time and place. But note, I have to be 20 years old and have a social security number. If you meet the requirements and want to know more, please answer yes or no. That's a scam. For anybody who ever gets those texts, I'm sure you do. I get them all the time. I just think it's funny that it popped up during this live stream, but that's a scam. Don't respond. Report it as junk. It's fake. It's not real. Just as a heads up, because I know that we all get them. It's a scam. Anything that has an age limit like that, that's the too good to be true. Hey, you can work an hour and make $120 anytime, anywhere. Just respond yes. That's a hard pass, guys. All right, so we're going to wrap up today. If you guys have any questions, join us on Facebook, that Facebook group. You can comment, you can make posts, you can ask questions there. You can also, if you have questions specifically for me related to what we talked about today, feel free to drop it in the comments on the Facebook video, because I think YouTube and LinkedIn shut it down, so you can't keep asking there. But feel free to ask any questions you have, and I'm happy to help. Next week, let me check. I'm checking my calendar just to give you guys a... Oh, yeah. We're good, because the Imagine 360 event is on Thursday. So next week, Remote Job Talk will be this time next week, Tuesday at noon Pacific time, 3 Eastern. And we'll go over new jobs, new events. We'll talk about that sort of stuff. So I will see you guys. Oh, Marina would like to know dates. Yeah, so I can talk about that. So upcoming dates. So next Thursday, September 18th at 12:30 Pacific. 12:30 Eastern time. Sorry, guys. 12:30 Eastern time on September 18th, which is next Thursday, is Imagine 360. The following Tuesday, September 23rd at 1 p.m. is CVS Health Customer Care. October 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern time is Travelers Coffee and Connect. Marina, if you have questions, let me know. Anybody has questions, let me know. We do post about these events in our Facebook group and on our LinkedIn and everything like that, so you can always see those. Again, if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the comments or on Facebook, and I'll be happy to help you. I will see you guys next week, Tuesday at noon, for next week's Remote Job Talk. All right.